Welcome to the Cool Fireman Podcast, a virtual firehouse kitchen table with What's a Rolfie, Unky, Fireman 1231, JDB Cubed, and Fireman Freddy. Let's get to the show.
Welcome back to the Cool Fireman Podcast. I'm Unky. I'm with Matt and Freddy, and this week we're gonna be talking about social media policies. Everybody's got them, the do's and don'ts, and maybe some stories to go along with it. So, how y'all doing?
Doing good. People are like, "Oh, we're gonna talk policies." Who talks policies at the coffee table? But social media.
Stick tight. It's going to be less policy and more, how to work in and around it and not get in trouble. And
I'm still learning, so I'm gonna listen to you guys.
Well, let's do a quick shout out to Taylor's 10. We are the 10 of the month, right?
I did.
And so, what the deal is, $5 of that purchase goes to the First Responders Children's Foundation, and we'll be having them on the podcast soon. And our donations will be going to them, helping them out with their projects.
Last we checked, we were at about 25. So hopefully it's above that. But you guys, we want to try and be the highest selling 10 of the month. We know you guys can help us out. The best part about it is if we are the highest selling 10 of the month, then the First Responders Children's Foundation gets that much more money. So help us out. Buy a really cool 10. Start a collection. It's something that firefighters do. We have a lot of trinkets. I mean, look behind my head. I got a whole bunch of crap back here, and everything means a little bit to me. So start another collection. What the hell?
I guess I've started to see pictures on Facebook with everybody's been posting their collection of Taylor's 10s, and ours is up there now. That's a lot of people's. So that's fantastic.
And remember, for every 10 that you buy, it enters you into our own little personal contest. And the winner is going to get 5 minutes on this podcast to tell us about yourself and why you decided to help support us. You're going to get your own custom tin, whether it's something for your fire department, if you want to make it personalized to you, whatever it is, we'll cover the cost. Your own personal tin from Taylor's Tins. All you have to do is support a charity and support the Cool Fireman Podcast. Sounds like a win-win-win.
Oh, a triple threat win.
Oh, yes.
It's better than that. I'd say we're about halfway. I'd say our goal is about 50, and we're at 25. So let's.
Yeah.
And we're halfway through the month, so let's make a big push at the end. What do you say?
Yeah, this is dropping on the 19th. So let's do it.
All right.
All right, social media. What can we post on the?
We'll go ahead and have our moment.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're going.
So we're going to go ahead and pause for a moment of silence of all of our brothers and sisters of the red and the blue and more.
Yes, we have lost a few this last week.
All right.
Alrighty.
All right, so let's jump into it. Social media policy. A lot of departments have them. All of us, especially Doug, being the oldest, all grew up without cell phones, without all these digital cameras and stuff like that. Thank God, because so much would probably be used against us. So now the fire department's coming along with social media policies, which you cannot post. And they're probably dictating what you can do on your own personal page. Some say it's right, sometimes it's wrong. But I know me and Freddie have seen it on the union side. If you put anything on your social media platform says you're a firefighter at X, Y, and Z fire department, you're representing them. So that's what I got. I'm going to go ahead and pitch it. I'm going to pitch it to Matt. Matt, what do y'all do on the West Coast?
So this is all brand new. And, this
Social media is not brand new.
It's pretty brand new. I mean, like we were just talking about how we were kids and we didn't even have cell phones. So
yeah.
I'm talking like within the last, 15 years that this started to come around. So yes, I mean, granted, 15 years, probably not that new, but in the big grand scheme of things, I think it is fairly new, and it's so new I would say it's so new because we don't even have a social media policy. We're working on it in our department. Our city is fairly conservative about what we post on any type of platform. In fact, they're very conservative what we do outside of our employment with the city. So just in having employment outside the city, they want to know what it is and what you're doing. But like Hunky said, if you've got a TikTok page or a face chat page or whatever social media outlet you have, and you're posting that you're a firefighter, you're a clear representative of that city, that fire department, actually all fire departments. And before social media even came around, when I was a volunteer, I remember, the full-time guy saying, hey man, you put that fire sticker on the back of your truck, or you get that fire department license plate or a CSFA sticker, whatever it is, and you're representing the fire department, you stick your finger out the door or the window and you flip off grandma that just cut you off. Like, you're a bad representation. So this just goes like one step further. And I know that if you get down to like legislation, I mean, this is a little bit further than like what we're doing in our own departments for as far as policy goes. But Congress is like in the weeds right now with all this artificial intelligence stuff and how fast it is growing. It's unbelievable. All these AI type deals that are coming out, like Chat GPT. And I know Google just came out with one that I've kind of tinkered around with. It's unreal what this thing can do in 2 seconds. I mean, it blows Siri out of the water. So it's crazy. But as far as our department, it's, like we do have a social media platform for our association. And that is a clear divide of our fire department social media. And so we manage our association social media. We try to blur out faces or blur out license plates when there's like a car accident or something. What's the word I'm looking for? Just
PII, the HIPAA stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So just use your head, use your brain. A number of years ago, I'd say about 12, 13 years ago, there was an incident that happened on one of our toll roads in Orange County. And this girl got in a fight with her father. She stole I think it was a Porsche. She was going probably 100, 120, 130 miles an hour. And she crashed head into one of the toll booths. And she basically exploded. Long story short, CHP did an investigation. They took pictures of this and somehow that got leaked out. And this didn't even happen through social media, really. It happened through just a text thread. And it's just spread like wildfire. Well, a few days later after that had happened, her brothers and sisters were getting those photos. Some people were printing those photos out and sticking them in their lockers at school. I mean, horrendous things. So some gnarly things. I mean, we already know kids are mean. You know what I mean? Kids can be totally mean. They're just still trying to push their own boundaries and all this kind of crap. But anyway, so that's one incident that I know about. I know of guys that I don't know them personally, but I've heard stories of guys getting fired because of what they're posting on social media. Can you imagine that? Working so hard to get the best job in the world, and then you post what? I don't know. I'm not even going to come up with an example.
I can absolutely imagine it.
Right. And people just, like, whatever, post it, with no consequence, and boom, thanks for coming. You're in the office and they're slamming you down, taking your badge from you. So it's crazy. You guys have a policy, Fred?
So, I was going to say, as many of you all know, but maybe you don't. I kind of caught fire originally on TikTok by cooking at my old fire department and posting it. It's kind of how I built my platform. It was a firehouse cooking. We can cook the same things as you do. Like, we're kind of humanizing the badge side of it. And I really liked it. I had some administration, for better or for worse, that was like, hey, just don't speak on behalf of the department on controversial issues, or make yourself a representative, and we don't really give a shit what you post on there. And So I kind of had a little bit of carte blanche. Never really took hard lines on anything. It was cooking. Every once in a while, I did a little bit of a training video, like, using a hose washer, doing a double donut roll or something like that. That was kind of the extent of my content. And obviously I did pretty good. I'm at 95,000. I fluctuate between 96 and 95,000, and very fortunate for that. I, in an effort to better myself, to do better for my family and what have you, I made a change departments, and my new department that I'm on, it's not bad. It's their policy is they would prefer if there was no filming or anything like that while on duty. It is the opinion of our administration at this time that if residents were seeing us filming, cooking, and doing whatever on shift, that it was a waste of their taxpayer dollars. We could be doing other things than making posts on social media. And while I see both sides of it, obviously I am rather biased to the point of social media can be super great and social media can be super bad. And there's obviously a huge, I believe, gray area in the middle where it kind of lives. And talking with, or Matt, you were talking about, like, I can't believe that could you imagine somebody losing their job? When I was the president of our union, when I worked at my first spot, actually, I don't work there anymore, so it was Wyandotte Fire Department. Anybody who had and there might be people who are listening to this podcast who are finding this out for the first time. Anybody who had a Facebook page that was a part of our union, I had all notifications on. If they posted, if they made a comment on somebody else's post, anything like that, I was able to get notified, just a little notification on my phone that they had done that. And this was after being pulled into the office 3 separate times for people making posts on Facebook, cutting down the mayor, cutting down a police officer, saying, I can't believe that our trucks are in disrepair or what have you. And it got to the point where I was like, all right, I need to try and catch the fire before it gets too big. So I was trying to mitigate my own risk. And a lot of times it didn't matter. I'd get called up. Hey, did you see what so-and-so posted? Nope. Slides a printout across, that's our mayor, or that's the police chief. Doesn't matter if he doesn't like him. He's got right on his profile that he is a firefighter for such and such fire department, and then he sits there and calls out the mayor for X, Y, and Z. That's a bad look. And it absolutely 100% is. It's funny that this correlates, but we were just talking at my son's baseball practice the other day about how one person can change the entire view. One person can change the view of everybody's view of an entire organization, whether it's baseball, whether it's, what have you, a fire department. If one person goes out, gets wasted, and punches the bartender in the face, and they're wearing a Fake Town fire department shirt, then guess what? All those guys at Fake Town Fire Department suck. Or one person takes a stand and says, whatever, on whatever political affiliation or whatever political topic is out there, and they have on their profile, I work for Fake Town Fire Department, and I think that everybody should, whatever. I'm not even going to do that because it's going to be controversial no matter what topic I'm trying to pick a side to. So you really do have to be careful. But with that, my ramblings, with that being said, my fire department, my union does, we do have a page. And I went to an IAFF training in Indianapolis. God, it's got to have been 6 or 7 years ago now. and I sat in one of their social media classes. And one of the things that the instructor was nailing home was, in your little bio on your union page, is make sure you put in there that this is owned by such and such union and is not affiliated with the city of blah, blah, blah. Now, does that absolve you of all of your sins? 100% no. But it does allow you as a union, I believe, to be able to, hey, look at what we were out doing MDA. Hey, we were out doing this. And now you can post and what have you. And you can, you can almost hide behind the veil of, listen, we're not representing the fire department. This is the union. The union is doing things. And this is what we want to do to make sure that the residents and other people around here know that your fire department isn't just sitting in the lazy boys and eating bonbons. We are out, we're doing things, and we're trying to better the community. And that's why I believe having a social media page for your union is huge.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look what they used to have to do. Like, if they wanted to get a city council member elected because they have their best interests, or you wanted to put something out to the city as far as like any types of events that you're going to be putting on, or you're doing a fundraiser. I mean, you used to have to print flyers, which wastes paper and costs money. And now our fire department, or our fire association, I should say, our Instagram alone has 25,000 followers. Now, granted, they don't all live in the city that I work for, but it's still, I mean, that's huge fan of communication. That's free. I mean, that's
sure.
That's free. That's unbelievable. So you can do a lot of good with it,
And it's a good thing. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was saying it's a good thing you like you said, me and Freddie seen it in the union. You kind of separate yourself from the fire department because Doug's trying to, for people that are just listening, Doug's trying to log in. And we are. So you
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So if you separate yourself, you also can go to that protection where if you have to go out and speak ill or out against city council, you're doing it under the Guardian Act, which will protect you.
Yeah.
And we've had some of those issues in my department where certain posts comes from the union, and we go and tell people, don't comment on it. Don't comment on it. You can share it. Don't say nothing, because we're going to get a lot of backlash for this. And right now it's kind of posted, was it not unanimously?
Yeah.
Anonymously.
Yeah, there it is. Anonymously. There's no need, but me and the president would step up and say, well, if you want to target anybody, it's us, and we're protected. And I work as a civilian firefighter for the Department of the Navy, and so each Department of the Defense, each branch of military has their own policies, pretty much the same. When the camera phones came out, they were really strict about them. Like, you couldn't have a camera phone on base. I believe that's still the rule, but they kind of look to the side because you can hardly get a phone without a camera on it. But they have rules. Be careful what you're taking pictures of. Because we could be in a parking lot, but that building behind us, it could be we do this training every year, all year long. That little building behind us could be a small piece of puzzle for a bad guy that's been collecting all these photos, and he's trying to paint a picture.
I have a question real quick, an opinion I want to get from the four of you guys about pictures. And for me, I see both sides of it, but there's a movement out there of take the picture. Have you guys heard of it? Take the picture.
Take the damn picture.
And what it means is that you guys catch a big burner, you guys put the fire out, everything's good, everything's safe, nobody gets hurt, nobody gets injured, nobody gets killed, what have you. Stand in front of the truck, what have you, take a company picture. The camaraderie, I think, is amazing. The only bad side I see of it is, are we celebrating somebody's loss?
Yeah.
We're standing in front of somebody who just lost everything. Their house burned down, and now you've got 10, 13, 14
big old smile.
Gals and dudes arms around each other, big old smile, like, and taking a picture in front of their loss. Yeah. Now, the whole reason behind the movement, I'm 100% on board, right? You never know what call is going to be yours or the next person's last. Take the picture, experience the times, remember the times, and embrace them. But there's got to be a better way to do it. I don't know if you take it back at the station, when you're cleaning up. I don't know if it's you make sure that the house isn't in the background. I don't know the right answer, but I wanted to get your guys' opinion on it while we were talking. Sorry to derail you there, Unky, but while we were talking about the picture thing.
I say at the scene, I think it's great because you got everybody because you're not in the same house as a lot of those people. But just be mindful of who's around you, because that family could be on the other side of that sidewalk. And
man, can you take this picture of us real quick?
Oh, yeah. Just go on the other side of the truck. Don't make a big deal of it. Go to the other side of the truck and have the truck in the background, Do your best so that nobody can say, hey, that guy, he was at that fire. That's my house in the background. He's posted this everywhere. It's background's the truck, and that's it. That's what I think.
Matt?
I don't really have anything to add. I mean, you kind of nailed it with why you even asked the question. Like you can see it both ways. So we as first responders, we see a lot of stuff, right? We do CPR on people where we have to call them on scene. And then I've caught
take the picture then.
Well, no, but I've caught myself walking out of their house and almost joking with my partner and kind of like nudging, like, hey, maybe we should do this back in the engine. You know what I mean? And it's not like we're joking about the person dying. Of course not. Like, we're sympathetic to it, of course. Like, it hurts us. It hurts us.
Debriefing
right.
with each other.
Exactly. We're debriefing about it. Or we've already kind of moved past it and we're going back to how our dinner's cold because we got 4 calls in a row. Whatever it is. I don't know. It's very hard to, I'm trying to explain this. I mean, a lot of people that are listening to this that work for the fire department totally understand it. But we also have people that don't work for the fire service that would go like, how dare you? You'd actually be laughing as you're walking out of the house from a full arrest, So you just wouldn't understand. But going back to your thing about the picture about on the fire, that it numerous times. But I think that you have to just try to be sympathetic to know your crowd. Like you said, I'll go on the other side or go in the house and take a picture. The half the house is burned down and you guys are just taking a quick picture before you take off or whatever. But I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's a very good question. It's a very good question. Valid for sure.
Douglas?
Kind of going along with Matt said, you don't want to laugh at people's misfortune. The first thing that was really told me about picture taking and stuff when I came on almost 9 years ago was try not to smile and be jovial. Because, like you said, you're at somebody's, people call 911 on their worst day most of the time. So you don't want to be seen as celebrating that, like you just said. Unky, I think, hit it really well, though. Either trying to get on the other side of the ride somewhere, or Matt's, if you get in the house and get away from everything, if you can get in the structure, just try to be as conspicuous about it as possible, or inconspicuous. I don't know which term, whatever. I don't know. Just try to be as respectful and tactful about it as you can.
Yeah.
But I'm a big proponent of taking pictures. I'm with you guys, Freddie, like the whole movement of take the picture, because you're right. One, you don't know if it's going to be your last call. Two, those are things to look back on when you retire, and you'll probably remember every detail about that call that you did. Those are it's just like keeping helmet shields and keeping pictures of all kinds of stuff. Am I dragging?
Nope.
Oh, yeah. I'm a big pro picture guy. I want those memories.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, crack in the ground, earth is splitting, you got to jump to one side of the way. I say take the picture. I think it's worth it. It's memories that you have. There's lots of times you sit around that kitchen table and, you can pull out a stack of pictures where I'd be like, oh, man, remember when Bob tripped over the hose in the front yard and the nozzle opened, he sprayed Jimmy in the face or whatever, like... Yeah. It jogged memories of great times that you've had. Those. Oh man, the Maple Street fire. Oh man, you remember the the weird room that they had off of the bathroom, whatever. Like it can spur a lot of different conversations of trainings and stuff like that. Take the pictures at training too. If you guys get a training house and you're cutting it up or whatever, take a picture.
Perfect.
Yeah, y'all, but your departments probably do as well. We do an annual every 5 years, and pictures like that go in those kind of things. But you're right, Freddie. Training is a good side of it too. You can use it for that stuff. And we've got a drone team now, so we're using drone footage for a lot of investigatory things for the fire marshals, and again, training. It's really good training to look at an after action of a massive house fire. If you can get a drone up and get pictures that you wouldn't typically see.
What drone? That must be just big fire department stuff. I don't know. I don't know anything about all that.
Yeah, we have a whole specialty team.
Well, of course you do. Hey, if you're gonna toss me a softball, I'm gonna freaking nail it.
I know, low hanging fruit.
Doug, what is your part? Do you guys have a policy on posting stuff on social media?
Oh, we have a big social media policy. I don't even know what y'all's topic is today. What are y'all actually talking about?
That's what we're talking about.
Social media.
Social media. Yeah, we have a social media policy, and I mean, essentially, at the gist of it, it's probably like everybody's common sense. Don't do stupid things. Don't, you're not drinking and driving. You're not, don't do ignorant stuff. Don't say ignorant stuff. Don't put your department down. Don't engage in, back and forth with, just don't be rude. Be a good person. Present the department in a good light.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically what we've been talking about.
Go ahead, Pat. Sorry.
I was just going to go one step further. My city. So what I didn't mention was the city I work for, and I talked about, how they're even kind of want to know what you're doing outside of the employment with the city is they don't want you making money off your title. They don't want you.
Yeah.
Whether you're a firefighter or you're the director of finance or whatever it is, you're doing a TikTok or a Instagram live or whatever. You're using your title with that
For monetary gain.
like not cool at all. So that's another part of it.
Social media, however, I think ends up being good because, first off, none of us would have known each other at all. We may have run into each other at an IAFF something or other, but for the most part, we would have never met. Matt, I don't think I ever would have met a Laguna Beach. Sorry, I would have never met a firefighter from California. Just on a whim and become as good of friends. Same with Doug and Unky, like guys in Virginia. I don't hang out in Virginia. You know what I'm saying? Like I pretty much stick to Michigan and maybe Ohio and Indiana if we have baseball tournaments for the most part. So being able to connect with people across the country and actually develop like significant relationships with them, I think is pretty cool. And with that being said, how many of us have seen on Facebook or TikTok or even YouTube training videos? You now have the ability to have subject matter experts able to train and give you their knowledge at a moment's notice, whereas before you'd have to travel across the country to go and see forcible entry man do something or what have you. I have a really good buddy. His name is Sean Duffy. He teaches a class called Searchable and Survivable. It's basically you pull up to the house and you read the house and you decide whether or not there are victims inside, and if they are, if the rooms that they're in can be survivable, and whether or not we risk a lot to get a lot out of it. And he travels all over the country. I've worked with him. I've been able to see his class from home when he was in Oklahoma, strictly because of social media. And that's so cool, and it's so beneficial to everybody out there, whether you're the 30-year guy or whether you're the 3-week guy. If you're able to pick up on these new skills, these new tools for your toolbox, it's priceless. It really is.
Yeah, I think it could be
Well, this year I've learned a lot. Okay. I've learned a lot with dealing with our public affairs office because of you, Freddie. You signed me up for TV stuff. So I'm allowed to say I'm a civilian firefighter for the Department of the Navy. Beforehand, I just kind of just kept it quiet or said federal to keep it bland. So we have our policies. Can't badmouth the government. Basically, for the most 99% of the time, can't take pictures on base. Because what can be in the background or what you're taking of is sensitive material. We all know about don't take pictures of the patient and post that up. And so what we've run into, even when I was a union officer, issues with firefighters on their personal page doing off-duty stuff. We dealt with a individual that, like on his trade or marketplace, made an inappropriate comment. And somebody took a picture of it, looked at his profile, found out he was one of our firefighters, went to higher ups and said, "This the guy who works for you?" And he said this. Deal with it. Like, ooh, violation of social media policy. I mean, what do you want to say? You can't speak bad about the government. You gotta I try to just be like, pretend you're running for political office. You know? Be mindful of your tongue. If you do have what you're feeling about an issue, speak on it, do your research. But everybody's watching. It doesn't go away. I've done posts when I was drinking. Oh, those good old drunk posts. Did plenty of those. I'm still working on Facebook memories, weeding them out and deleting them. Those are bad times. But I popped off the mouth on certain things, and I've been reeled in before. And I'm like, hey, you need to take this down. So we dealt with that with a couple people. Like I said, we're running, act like you're running for political office when you're saying that the politicians aren't up to date. Prime example, it hurt Hillary Clinton. She went to, was it a coal mine? Says, we're not going to shut you down. The next day, said, we're going to shut them down. She didn't plan on social media, and that really hurt her. So, as we all know, once you take a photo, it's there forever, posted on the internet.
Yeah, and it's easy to go down that rabbit hole because, I mean, I'm a big sports guy, so all my feeds on the Facebook are a lot of ESPN stuff, and I'm telling you, that's clickbait stuff. The big thing right now is with Aaron Judge. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Yeah, Aaron Judge was at the plate. He looks over at his base coach, and they go, "Why do you look over at his base coach?" And so, like, of course, ESPN and all this, they throw out this clickbait, and there's thousands of people that, oh, he should have done this. Of course, he's cheating. They all cheat. What do you mean they don't cheat? You know, it's all designed for you to get heated and to clickbait and to get stats for them. Just don't fall into it, dude. And so, you know, I think about that. I'm like, okay, people that are following me or people that are following you guys, you know, that are other firefighters, whatever, going to see what I wrote and my opinions. And although they might be distasteful, or some people might think that's right, you're always going to piss somebody off. You know, and that's the thing with social media. You cannot please everybody. I mean, come on. The four of us know that we get nasty comments on our posts that are totally unwarranted. Doug, you get probably the most I've ever seen, unless you just make them more public than anybody else.
I do. I've got a good story about that. I hope y'all can hear me okay. Again, I'm driving home. Sorry. A while back, I made a post, and one of these troll iffy accounts came on and said something stupid to me. And you guys have seen Wedding Crashers, I assume.
Yes.
Where he says, "Grow up, Peter Pan, Count Chocula."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
I said it to him. I said, and I was just kind of addressing the troll in the comment section, and I said, "Grow up, Peter Pan, Count Chocula. It's just a joke or something." Well, he came back with, "Does your department know you're a racist?" And about a month later, my battalion chief came to me and said, "I need to talk to you about this." I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, you know, he repeated everything that he said. So a guy called and made an anonymous complaint to our HR department that I was racist for calling him Count Chocula. And I explained to him, I said, "Chief, it's a movie line." I screen recorded the scene in the movie and sent it to him. I said, there's no malice to it whatsoever. It's a joke. The guy in the movie was actually talking about how the guy was being childish, and now I was referencing. I said, but you could see how it's easy, it gets taken out of context and spun. Now, granted, nobody with common sense would take that out of context. He was being a jerk and trying to get me hemmed up over something dumb. And I ended the conversation, Chief, with all due respect, Count Chocula was white. He just happened to wear brown. And that was the end of that. But yes, here lately, man, I have started professionally engaging trolls because it's not okay for that. That's essentially cyberbullying on a lower level. Like, you're not going to get away with that, man. If you want to talk behind the keyboard, by all means, but don't expect it to go unchecked professionally. Don't do it, or in TikTok terms, don't do it or stitch something and just start cursing the guy out and tell him what a piece of trash. Yeah, that's not how it goes. You present him with facts and you shut him down with, let the mob do it for you. If you present a good fact, the mob will take care of it for him or her for you.
The only pushback I'm gonna give you, Doug, and I think a lot of people are listening can concur with this, if they're not already saying, well, this is why I don't do social media, because it's just a bunch of bullshit, right? There are those people that are saying that. But the other pushback I'm going to give you is, again, you cannot please anybody. There's no rebuttal that you're going to have for that guy where he goes, and he has this light bulb that comes off his head, cartoon, and he's like,
"Oh, absolutely, you're right.
You know what? JDB cubed is right. Thank you for your thought. Right? There's nothing that you can say that's going to make that guy change his mind. And to add on top of that, I know we're short on time. To add on that real quick is they're saying, and I can't prove this nor deny it, that there are people out there that have AI bots that act like human beings that are fake accounts on all these different social media platforms, and they are there to F with you. They will write a comment about your video because it's a smart computer, just as smart as me, probably actually way smarter than me because I'm pretty dumb.
Smarter.
Yeah. And it's just there to make comments on thousands a day, just to piss people off. And they do it for political gain. They do it for monetary gain. It's unbelievable. So, and again, right, I'm making more of a argument for these people that are listening to this right now going, yep, especially those old guys. Yep. This is why I never made the face chat account, so I've had those discussions with some older people in my department, but anyways.
All right. Doug, what do you got?
1, go buy a tent. At least 1. 2, check out my smooth hat from Box Alarm Apparel, huh?
Oh,
Hey.
Huh? Good stuff. Y'all check them out too.
Okay.
nice.
All right. We're pushing it. Let's go. Hey, it's shift change. We got one, you got smash burger recipe.
Yeah. So, hey, recipe this week. I'm going to tell you what, I just did a video on it. It's one of my favorite things to, it slaps. It's one of my favorite, I can't do that thing. I don't know how everybody does that. It's one of my favorite things to make on the Blackstone, or if you have a char grill or whatever the flat top grill you have is. Super simple. You're going to take, I buy the,
What are we doing here?
I buy the old 3-pound log of ground beef.
Oh, the tube, yeah.
Yeah, the tube, 80-20. Make it 80-20. Don't buy the super lean stuff because that doesn't make a great smash burger.
Yeah, why would you do that?
Matt, you can buy some turkey, I suppose. And
Sure.
so what you're going to do is you're going to make some meatballs out of them. I usually about the size of your hands, what have you. My son and I usually do doubles, so make 1 meatball per patty. Take them out, get your Blackstone ripping, put a little oil, saute up some onions before, have them to the side, put each meatball, piece of wax paper, smash it down, whether you have, I like that, whether you have a spatula or if you actually have one of the presses, and then you season them up. You can use some of that e-salt. You can use some of that garlic and herb. If you're crazy, you can use some of the Coastal Cajun. Beef rub, also amazing.
Chipotle.
What's that?
It's Chipotle now. It's not called beef row.
Oh, okay. Chipotle.
They usually work the other night.
You can use pretty much whatever you want on it. You could use the old S&P and garlic. whatever floats your boat. Press them, flip them. You get a nice crust, American cheese on top, and make sure that you're using a little bit of butter on the other side of the flat top. Turn it on low, put some butter down, toast your buns. I'm looking right at you. If you're not toasting your buns, I hope you hit your pinky toe on your coffee table. That's my new little thing.
Not nice.
Like the minor inconveniences, I think I'm going to start throwing those into videos. I think it's going to be fun. But serve them up. Dude, they're so delicious. I know this is off season, but every year for Halloween, we have about 20 to 30 people over, and I pretty much cook smash burgers all night, and they go like hotcakes. They're absolutely delicious. So make yourself some smash burgers. Your crew will love it.
All right, what do we got next week, Anki?
Don't know. I probably won't be a part of it, but I'll be moving.
I think we're going to have the First Responders Children's Foundation on. Hopefully, we were supposed to have them on this week, but they had to postpone.
CEO.
So we came up with this social media topic. Hopefully, it was okay.
CEO.
So yeah, we'll have the CEO on next week, on next Friday. So whenever that is, 19 plus 7 days is what? The 26th? So.
Sure.
Yeah, right?
No.
Carry the 2.
25th.
Whatever. Freddie, do the tube thing.
How big of a tube?
Roll it, Gigi.
Before you leave, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and give these firemen a huge thumbs up. Also, make sure you check out thecoolfireman.com for more. Thanks!